Hello, this is Jim. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you haven't been here, and if you're returning, I appreciate you watching my videos. So I had mentioned Bigfoot a week or two ago, and what people thought about Bigfoot, and the fact that we named our property Barefoot Ranch, which is a combination Barefoot Bigfoot, and that we had found prints on the property in the past. So I had also touched on the story that I had back in Central Oregon, and mentioned that I was going to go ahead and talk about that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So back in 1996, I was hunting with my brother-in-law, and we were hunting in an area near Paulina Peak outside of La Pine in Central Oregon. And we were out bow hunting. We were both real new to it. He was a lot younger than I was. Anyhow, we came across this area that was probably about a 3 or 4,000 acre fire had happened there. So it was kind of cleared out in the middle, and there was some rock outcrops in the middle of the burned area. And we were driving on what used to be a cat line, turned into a dirt road on the outskirts, so adjacent to the woods. And it was getting kind of late in the day, and we decided to just pull over in this one spot that looked kind of promising. And so we pulled over, and I'm going to go ahead and show you, watch the footage as I'm talking to you. I'll show you the approximate location on Google Earth, and then also the Bigfoot Research Organization. I had went ahead and published my story to them a couple years after the fact. So go ahead and look at that while I'm talking. So anyhow, we pulled over in that spot and got out. And when we got out, I opened up my driver's door and I startled a doe. And she jumped up out of the brush and kind of meandered back away from us and dropped down this there's a little rock outcrop. And she dropped down that. So Sean, he got out and walked around the car and started proceeding to follow where the doe had gone. And I stayed behind and just kind of looked for tracks, and found some tracks, and then I found some really peculiar tracks. So what I found, basically, the only way to describe it is human footprints, but they were probably 12, maybe 14 inches in size, and looked like bare feet. You know, you can see toes. The dirt over there is really soft and really dusty, and this was, I'd say, well, it was August or so, so it was summer. There hadn't been a lot of moisture. And anyway, these prints I found, there was more than one. There was multiple prints, and I could actually see a stride and see where this thing had walked. And the cool thing about it was I could actually see where it turned, so I could see depressions in the ground and see where it changed course or changed direction, and some of the dirt was pushed up on the heel area. And but it was pretty distinct from what I recall. I mean, I could see toes, and I think there was probably 6, 8, 10 prints. I don't remember exactly how many. I think I say in the report there. By the way, the report, there's a lot of spelling errors. I'm going to go back and fix that if I can get in there to edit it. Anyhow, I paid a lot of attention to those prints, and I was shocked at how many I found, and they were kind of leading in that same direction that doe had gone. And then it came to this rock outcrop that dropped down about 2 feet. So Tilly's trying to get my attention here, so I'm going to give her a little bit of attention while I'm talking. Anyway, I could see where these prints went, and then they kind of just stopped, and that they stopped right at that little rock ledge, and it dropped down about 2 feet, and then, you know, whatever it was, I didn't see any prints down below that in the direction that Sean and that doe had gone. So I spent about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, just really looking around. This was back before good cell phones, and I don't even think I had a camera on my cell phone. It was a little flip phone. I don't even recall if we had cameras back then or not. Must not have, otherwise I hopefully would have thought of taking a picture. Anyway, after a while, Sean came back, and he was just kind of acting a little bit funny, and he was kind of like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's going on?" He's like, "Let's just go." And so we went ahead and got in the car and drove off, and you know, he said he followed the doe for a while and didn't really say much else, and I didn't give it much thought or anything. I told him I found some prints or whatever. He didn't seem very interested. Anyway, years went by, and I ended up seeing him, I don't know, 20 years later or so, And I asked him, I was like, Sean, that day that you walked down and tried to follow the doe, you know, what happened? What was the deal there? You seemed a little unnerved. And he said he followed it back in quite a ways. And at some point he got back in there and he heard some growling or grunting noises. And he's pretty avid with the outdoors and knew a lot of animals and different things. And he said that's something that he had never heard before and doesn't care to hear again. And it really scared him. So I don't exactly know what those sounds were or anything that he heard, but putting kind of the two and two together, I suspect that the doe was bedded down, and whatever this creature was, possibly had walked by before that doe got up and got startled, and she was bedded down maybe to hide from the creature, who knows. And then he followed the doe, and then maybe this thing felt threatened and grunted or growled at him or made those noises. So I'm kind of putting all that together, just you know, presumably. But it was definitely some of the clearest prints I've seen. I've seen others at different times, but those were some of the clearest prints I've seen. And there was really no explaining it away. I don't think it was the wind. I don't think it was rain that made those prints. I mean, they were pretty clear and defined. So that's my story. And like I said, you can look at the BFRO site and see it right there. And the approximate location, I don't think that was the exact location on Google Earth, but it was pretty close. So that's my definite Bigfoot story. I've got others. I've found some other prints here and there. I've heard noises. So I'll talk about those too in the future. What's your thoughts? You know, have you found identifiable prints? Have you seen Bigfoot itself? Let me know in the comments. You know, let me know your thoughts. And again, thank you for watching, and thank you to all my new subscribers and continuing subscribers. Thanks for watching.